So this part goes, wait, this.
Wow, you guys are squeaky. And late. Okay, future reference. If you're gonna be late, don't squeak.
Yo guys, listen up. Today I've got a sick video for you all because I met Phil X twice. And that's some seriously cool shit. So a couple of weeks ago, I went down to my favorite music shop called Andertons, who sometimes do like masterclasses. This time around, they had Phil X come in because he was doing a tour with his band called Drills. I actually ended up going to see them the night after, so I'm gonna have sort of footage from the gig as well at the end of the video. So yeah, so this is a different kind of video, but what I wanted to talk about is the 5 things that I learned from Phil X during the masterclass. So we're gonna run through them. I'm gonna show you what Phil said about it, and then I'm gonna tell you what I think about what he said. That way you kind of get the thoughts of pro musician and you get the thoughts of just like a normal musician, if you get what I mean. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
Phil, at a large Bon Jovi gig, how loud is your backline?
There is no backline. That's a good question. My cabinets are in ISO boxes 50 feet away from the stage. I mean, I'm playing with the Drills in a small club, and I have a monitor, and my amp's behind me screaming, and it's moving my pant leg, and it's giving me goosebumps. And then I go on a stadium stage, and there's no speakers. Everything's in here. I haven't put a lot of reverb on my amp, so I feel like I'm in a stadium.
Now, when I think of rock guitar, one of the first people I think of is Phil X. So I'm not really too surprised that he prefers having, you know, the amp kind of blaring behind him so loud that he can actually feel it. But I do also get that you need in-ears if you're playing really massive shows. And you especially need in-ears if, like, not all the songs are guitar driven. For example, for me, I'm mainly playing like pop projects, right? Which doesn't really have that much distorted guitar, and when it does, then it's so prominent anyway that you hear it for that one little bit, and then for the rest of it, it's not really at the forefront of things. So playing with in-ears for me is quite useful. You know, since I've done it, I haven't really wanted to play without them, but it just means that I can go up to the sound guy and I can be like, hey man, my amp's DI, so there's nothing on stage, and I ask him if I could swipe the front of house mix so that I can hit everything through the in-ears, even the drums, even the vocals. Sounds really clean. So while you don't really get the impression that you're, you know, a rock star on stage, you do get to hear everything and you feel more comfortable, and if you feel more comfortable, you play better, and if you play better, you look better. Now, coordination is super important. The musician that can sing and play at the same time is definitely going to get more gigs, right? They just are. It's pretty much the same when you try and sign up for like a function agency. If you can drive, for example, you know, they'll look at that and they'll be like, you know, that's like an extra useful thing that they can do.
Go to audition and say you fucking nail Neil Sean, but you don't sing. And the next guy doesn't quite nail Neil Sean, but sings backgrounds, he's getting the gig because he sings. So if you don't sing, start singing. So that kind of thing is, I take pride in it because, you know, a lot of people that play and sing, and I've seen other people play and sing and been blown away by stuff that they can do.
So if you've got that versatility and you can do both at the same time, then I think you've already got an edge on a lot of people. Now, Phil was saying as well that it doesn't come naturally. I remember watching YouTube videos of Phil X sort of going like, when there was like a fast thing that he couldn't do on the guitar, he would just do it like really slowly over and over again, and just put a movie on and just watch the film. And then while the film's going, you know, he's practicing at the same time, and it like gets embedded into his like hand muscles. So practice the singing and the playing at the same time, slowly to start with, and then build up the speed. This one's for all you guitar nerds.
Any questions before I move on?
Yeah, why do you not use the neck pickup?
I personally, and I don't think this is a theory, I actually proved it to myself. Years ago when I had two identical guitars, and they both had treble pickups, and just because this is when I started getting, well, I don't use the neck pickup that much. What happens if I take out the neck pickup and put like an action figure in there? And yeah, how many people think that all the time? Right? That's my brain. So the cool thing about being able to having two identical guitars that sounded identical until I did that, the guitar with one pickup sounded better from that point onward since I took the neck pickup out. Now, this is a theory, but my experiment proves the theory. So, people, a pickup maker said, you know what? Even when the neck pickup isn't engaged, the magnet on the pickup is pulling on the strings. So it's interrupting, if this is point A and this is point B, you're getting some interference right here. And that's why the string vibrates more when there's no neck pickup. And if you have high action, you really notice the difference. If you have low action, you're still not getting the optimum sound of your guitar because the strings don't vibrate that much.
So the three things that I really should have asked were, what string gauge do you use, how high is your action, and what glue do you use to keep your action figures in place? So Phil, if you're watching, please let me know.
I find that I'm a big fan of the what the fuck factor. Like when I go see somebody play, I want to go, what the fuck? The kind of what the fuck that when you see Steve Vai play, Guthrie Govan play.
So the what the fuck factor is the most important thing on this list. It's your first impression to somebody who's never ever seen you play before. When they hear that quirk that you've got, they're going to recognize you for that. So I'll give you an example. I don't know if it's the best example, but it's the best one I've got. So in first year of music college, we were all put into random bands and we got told to, I think, put together a 15-minute set that we had to play at a little kind of bar thing. And it was an exercise to get people to socialize and get to know each other. And I managed to convince the others that we should do Foxy Lady by Jimi Hendrix, which I think is one of the best songs ever. So I'm gonna roll the tape now. I'm sorry for the potato quality, but it was back all the way from the Stone Age in 2015, I think. So here it is. So if you can combine that with some actual good playing, that's what people will buy into, and that's how you can set yourself apart from the other players around you and the other players that you know. So super important, the what the f factor. Now, I don't really have much to say about this, so I'm just gonna roll the clip because it's pretty crazy.
You were next, sorry.
What's the worst thing that's ever happened to you on stage?
The worst thing? Okay. There's a few. But the one that comes to immediate mind is, I was in two bands in LA, and one band played big venues, like bigger than this. They had like 1,200 people, and a balcony, and a 20-foot high ceiling, and I would throw the guitar up at the end of the show, and it would go up 20 feet, and it would come down, and I'd hit a chord and go, thank you, good night. 5 days later, me, Dan, and our drummer at the time, the Drills, are playing at the Cat Club, which has a ceiling you can't even see because it's painted black. You know where it's going, right? This is the fail that should be on YouTube. Because I'm like, this is the conversation that fucking happens in your head when you're doing the finale, and you're like, I can't even see that ceiling. You can't throw it up there. And the other guy's going, yeah, man, throw it, do it. They want it, do it. And I'm like, no, I don't even know how high it is. It could be like 10 feet. Ah, come on, don't be a chicken. So I throw the guitar up. The heel of the body goes into the ceiling and the whole guitar ricochets into my face. Headstock first. So it comes in like a Spartan spear. And it hits me here, leaves a gash, hits me here, leaves a gash. And now I'm like, but your adrenaline is going. So, but I feel the blood kind of trickling down my face, but maybe it's sweat and I'm okay. So I look at Dan and I'm like, Dan, am I bleeding? And he looks and he goes, we should stop. And that was it. Thank you, good night.
Headstock first, can you imagine that? Can you imagine how painful that is? An SG's headstock, presuming that it was an SG, because that's like his favourite guitar. But an SG headstock first into the eyebrow, or the eye, or whatever. That is actually f***ing crazy. Headstock alone is about 5 tons. Then again, think about it this way. If you were at that show, right, you've just listened to some sick music, you've had a couple of beers, you're having fun, the show's ending, you know, feel f***ing... It doesn't even matter what the people are going to think, they're going to remember it, right? And that's what the factor that you want. You want to be memorable, you want people to remember you. So there we go, that's the 5 things that I learned from Phil X on the day. I thought they were really useful. I really like the mix of kind of like gear knowledge, practical knowledge, and just like cool stories. Also as well, after the Andertons thing, I ended up meeting Phil. We had a little chat about session work and stuff. And yeah, it was just really cool. He was a really, really nice guy. So Phil, if you're watching, thank you for giving me your time of day. And then yeah, the next day we went to the show. He was there just kind of chatting to people at the merch table, signing, you know, CDs, of which I have all 3 that were available. I've even got his fingerprint on that one, so I don't know, a bit weird, but cool. I would say that I'll do more of this, but really I can't right now because of the current situation. No one's going anywhere. But I do hope that it helped you with your quarantine boredness, if that makes sense. But if you made it this far, then please, 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 if you could leave a like, a comment, and a subscription, that would be amazing. And if you are looking for guitar lessons, shoot me a DM on Instagram, get in touch with me, comment down below, and we will arrange something for you. So once again, cheers for watching. I've been Vic. Let's roll those clips.
Thank you so much.